Well, here we are. Joe, where are you at right now? Where do you live?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Which I still have no idea how to navigate. We've talked about this, I think, but
It's designed really badly.
it's crazy. I mean, I have some family there and some friends there, and if I go, we have corporate clients, and so when I go, I try to visit people, and it's like the last time I was gonna visit family, I was like, "Oh, I'm in Atlanta, so I'll see you." And then we did the maps, and it was gonna be like an hour to traverse town to get to them.
Just across. Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. Well, this is going to be fun just talking about your journey in working together in the business builder program. But, for people watching, like, first set the stage a little. What is it that you do? A little bit about yourself.
Yes, so I do ADHD life coaching for adults, and I left a company where I was doing that and wanted to start my own, and it was a lot. There's a lot to do. It was an overwhelming process, and that was before I started working with you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, say a little more about that specifically. Like, what were you thinking about? What were you feeling that had you, whether it was just the overwhelm or feeling stuck? What was that like?
Yeah, I wanted to do everything well. I wanted to have all my I's dotted, my T's crossed, but there's so much to do.
Hmm.
And it was easy to get lost in the weeds trying to find advice online. And then all of a sudden, I have way too many irons in the fire, and I'm wondering why I'm so overwhelmed. And I don't know why I'm overwhelmed. I just am. There's so many things to do. Oh, I should do this. Oh, I should do this. Oh, I should do this. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
really overwhelming process. I wanted to do everything well and correctly.
Yeah. I still feel that way all the time. I had that, what is it? It's Wednesday. On Monday, was feeling that because I don't know, suddenly you learn some more things or realize some next steps you need to take. And it's like the competing voices of maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. What if I get what if I
Mhm.
get it wrong? I'm currently in a coaching program that's been helpful with that because it's just that, all right, here are the steps, take them in order. You'll get there, but don't it's so easy for my head to start spinning on I got to do all those things right now. Yeah.
Yeah, all of them right now, they all matter so much. If you're not doing this, you're losing like because people are trying to give advice online and get you to watch. There's a lot of extremes and trying to navigate those and figure out,
Yeah.
okay, what is actually necessary?
Yeah.
Because there's too many things.
Yeah, exactly. And if you try to do them all, you do none of them well. It's like a
Right.
lose-lose.
Yeah.
What background-wise, like, what led you to wanting to leave the job, start a business?
So there's a lot of bad things that happened at my previous job. I was treated poorly. Many other people were treated poorly. And I had to figure out why everyone left. All my favorite coworkers had left. Favorite coaches, people that influenced me, that helped me become better as a coach. And I had to learn that I was just next up in a long line of coaches being burned. And
Mm,
process was long, it was brutal, it damaged me in a lot of ways, and after finally leaving, I had a lot of frustration and frantic energy to try and do this on my own, and so I just threw as many things at the wall as I could, hoping that they would stick,
mhm.
and it was really hard. There was just a lot of things to throw, plus being frustrated and still recovering from my previous job made the process tiring in ways I can't even describe.
Yeah,
But yeah, that process was tough and pretty scary trying to figure out, okay, let's try and do this. How do we do this? Okay, I don't have a job. How do we do this for not a lot of money? How do we make it work?
yeah,
Yeah, trying to get that off the ground was difficult.
yeah. So you were a coach, but working for a coaching company. So then the transition was really more about learning the business side than
Yes.
learning the coaching craft.
Right. I had my coaching craft down and running a business was new, kind of exciting because everything's new.
Mhm.
Documents new. That legal document's new. This needs to be in place. This is how you don't do that. This is how you do that. There's just a lot.
Yeah.
Fun at first, but then it became like it felt like looking at an entire aisle of a library feeling like I needed to read every book.
Oh, man. You always talk about how you're, like, the master of metaphors. That's such a good one. I feel that one all the time,
Yeah.
especially because a lot of entrepreneurs have this, but, like, in the color-based personality profiles, I have the red-blue dichotomy, which is, like, the creative tension. Why creatives and entrepreneurs feel that tension because
Mm.
they're opposite traits. Red wants to move fast, blue wants to slow down and think through it more, and
Whoa.
so I feel that pretty much on a daily basis where it's like I want to think through the whole picture and like have all the context, but then I want to take action on all of it immediately, which is,
Yeah.
to people like my wife, like so confusing. Like, why would you think that way? But very common for our entrepreneurs and creatives to feel like I need to do it all right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, okay. What about, I mean, I know your story, but what's the background of why you wanted to become an ADHD coach specifically?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I was diagnosed and it was crushing. And I had to do a lot of work to figure out how to live life where I wasn't dropping the ball all the time. And at first, it was like a large emotional problem and mental problem that I had to figure out. And then I could start contending with pieces of the ADHD in a practical sense. This is how my brain works. Therefore, I do this. I don't do that. That doesn't work for me. After getting through all of that, that was the span of years through college, rest of high school. All of a sudden, I had all these skills, and I found this job where I could help middle schoolers and high schoolers figure out their ADHD, school, and life, and also help their parents understand them as
Uh,
well.
mhm.
That was a big piece of it. And I like that the most. Yeah, I think the most difficult part is just looking at yourself and not disliking yourself when you drop the ball
Yeah.
100% more than all of your classmates.
Uh,
That's hard. So helping
yeah.
people is how I started because I was at that place.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I hadn't really heard some of those pieces,
Mhm.
but it was coming out of a personal struggle and a personal journey of overcoming and learning things. So it really is that, see, because I've found through coaching, you've got the like purist coaching, ICF, just kind of like deep listening and helping people uncover things inside themselves, which is amazing. And then you've got the other end of the spectrum, just like mentoring, advising, consulting, where it's, hey,
Mhm.
I've been there, done that. Here's what you do. You're
Right.
kinda like me where you're in the middle doing some of both.
Yes. Yes. I was trained along the ICF pathway and then added those specialties of executive functioning and ADHD. And so
Yeah.
knowing when I should not ask, well, what do you think you should do next? Which is a stupid question if obviously doesn't know. And I know the answer. And I say, oh, you need to do this. Don't
Yeah,
do that. It's
that's
a fun
cool.
balance, but it is a hard balance sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you were talking to some therapist offices recently
Mhm.
about partnering up where you could help people who have been doing therapy but now need to do some coaching as well. You used a metaphor that they found helpful, but I also did too. Do you wanna share that?
Man, I use so many. Was it the car?
Yeah, the car one.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, when you pull up at a light and you look at the car next to you, the bumper's hanging off, there's a lot of scrapes, dents, everything. Maybe there's like a trash bag filling in the window, and when it drives, you like watch a tire just vibrate by.
Yeah.
I think we all go, "Ooh, something's not right," because cars really represent how we're living life
Mhm.
for some reason. And I was speaking with therapists and also my role as a coach. We see that and we go, "Oh, something's wrong with that person. Something's going on. They're really stressed all the time. They can't even manage their car. That thing is on its last leg." And so the metaphor I presented was seeing that car, all the dash lights are on, but my job is not fixing the car. My job is helping the person drive the car. And comparing coaching with therapy, working through that metaphor was really fun. Therapists are working and asking questions like why, which is what you're not supposed to do as a coach. Obviously, therapists aren't asking you directly, but they're concerned with why did this person end up in the ditch? And then I'm the opposite end of that of, okay, how are we supposed to drive your car now? This is what the road looks like right now in your life. And it's a little hairy. There's a cliff right there. It's kind of winding and you tend to forget things. So we got to figure out how to make it from A to B much more smoothly than what you've been doing.
Yeah.
That was metaphor we gave.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about
Mhm.
the moment of deciding to work with me because this, as you know, as a coach, like this is always the hang up for people. So they're considering, maybe they're following your content, they've been following along, or they've talked to you. And then there's that moment of decision when an offer is made. And that's where we get hung up because it's like, well, now we're talking real money and real time commitment.
Mhm.
In fact, just last night, I had this conversation with my wife because she met with a coach and it was awesome. It was Meredith. You know Meredith.
Yeah.
And it was an awesome conversation. And then it was about the offer, and Ashley was like, "I would love to do this," but suddenly you start making excuses for yourself when it's time to make a change and a commitment. So, I'm just always really curious, like, what to you is the thing that made you decide to work with me?
I believe that when anybody's trying to start something new, there's different degrees of uncertainty. And with a new business, there's a lot of uncertainty. Is it going
Mhm,
to work? That's the question. Is it going to work with money? I don't know how to deal with that uncertainty or have someone give me experienced advice
mhm,
helps me deal with the uncertainty. It's really easy to just burn out from all the things that you're supposed to be doing as a business owner.
uh-huh,
And I think that's what really made me want to work with you of, oh, I am feeling so uncertain, which is akin to overwhelm. And I need someone to give me some of that consulting piece. Like you said, do that. This is the best way to do that. Oh, no, 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 no.
mhm,
Go of that, actually. That's amazing. Having someone being able to tell me what to do in those moments that are very small but impactful that simplify and create a lot of freedom. I think I saw that after getting to know you a little bit. And I thought,
yeah,
I think I kind of need that. I'm burning out on the uncertainty. There's
yeah.
too much.
That's interesting because I think, I do leadership and career coaching over here, but as a business coach, the most common thing people will like say, "Oh, this was so helpful," or, "I just got done meeting with someone before this, and she said, oh, this was so valuable." And what it was me telling her what not to do.
Yes.
And you've said that before too, and I felt it as a client with the coaching program I'm in now. Same thing. When they say, "Hey, don't worry about all these 26 other things that you hear online and that you're supposed to do. Focus on this thing."
Right.
That's like almost the most valuable part, the not what not to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is. I like if I'm going to sell my tomatoes at the market and you say, okay, you need to avoid those 25 markets and just go to that one.
Yeah.
You? Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm happy to go to one market.
Yeah. And
I'm
it's like,
great. I don't
right.
care about the other 25.
That's kind of cool. It's because it's not just the fact that you know where to focus. It's also the mental freedom that the permission slip gave you. Like there might be value in going to the other 26 markets, but the fact that mentally you don't have to question now and worry about them
Correct.
all
Yep.
is freeing, and it allows you to focus your energy on the one and do the one really well, which will probably get you better results anyway than
Anyway,
the 26 would have. Yeah.
right.
That's a cool way of putting it. I love your metaphors. By the way, anyone watching, Joe has a side business I happen to know where he can help you come up with awesome metaphors and visual frameworks for stuff.
I can
I am definitely hiring you to do that at some
at
point
the
this year.
drop of a hat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so let's keep moving then, because I think this is going to be really helpful for people who are in a similar place as you. Let's talk about what was your experience as we worked together? Like, what were the things, some of the top things that stood out to you as milestones or kind of like challenges or problems that we overcame? And what was that like?
Yes. My demographic that I shoot for as a coach is pretty specific and difficult to define within search engine parameters because people that need my support often are not looking for the support that I'm providing. And so I
Yeah,
have to figure out a way to reach those people,
I can understand that. Yeah.
right? I think that is like the age old problem. for a lot of people. And I started to realize that was an issue. And I didn't really know what to do or where to go. And I think your question was like, what was my experience on or in or the breakthroughs, right?
Yeah, just, what were some of those moments throughout working together that stood out to you?
Yeah. I think realizing, okay, I can pick one, maybe two, but probably not, just one avenue where I can pursue this pool of people, hoping to build a connection or referral connection. And that
Mhm.
was therapy practices. And that was quite relieving. That was a big one for me because I understand that. I understand how that works. I understand how practice works. It's similar to coaching practice when there's multiple coaches involved. And knowing how to talk to them was new as someone who's like, "Hey, buy my new product or we can be referral." Like that was new for me, but I understood how it worked. So once I realized, I think I'm just going to do that. Oh, and then it worked really well. Because you said, what did you say? You said, "Oh, they know you. They want to work with you. They want you to present to them." That should be the only thing you care about for the next month. Making sure that presentation goes well. And of
Yeah.
course, doing the other pieces and the daily tasks. But that was such a load off my shoulders because, again, I only have to sell tomatoes at one market. I don't have to worry about anything else. And that was great. That was big. Defining that's just one. But defining, I think financial targets was helpful as well, so that I could say, "Oh, this is working," or "It's not working." Nailing those targets down was really helpful. Having somebody just whiteboard a lot of the problems from a different perspective and say, "Oh, you need this, or this needs to be in place in order for things to work." That was helpful for me. I can forget that I cannot hold everything together by sheer willpower. Can't brute force everything. There's comes a point where I do need this comfy thing. Well, that is a need. Okay, no, I do need that in order to make the business work or consider it to be viable.
Yeah.
Doing that with you at the beginning was great.
Well, yeah, I mean, one thing that stood out to me is throughout the experience, you had I actually loved this because more than a lot of my clients, you would bring, like, weekly stuck points. You always had a short list of, like, "Alright, here's some things that I feel stuck on," and we would just, like, knock through the list, and it was always really fun for both of us, kind of a lot of smiles and laughs when we would just, like, knock through a list, and then oftentimes it was like, "Okay, alright." Like, clarity, check.
Mhm.
And, some of those things were how to structure certain conversations or how to structure a certain, um, tracker that you have or something. And it was just like knocking through those stuck points as they came seemed to
Mhm.
be a really big thing for you, which to your point earlier, it's like instead of the overwhelm of what to focus on is kind of like constantly honing in on what really matters right now.
Yeah. Yes. I think I would call them the uncertainty points. When uncertainty was at its highest and I knew, okay, a decision has to be made. What do I do? And
Yeah.
then it was helpful to have someone point. And then the model that you give to everybody, which I love, I think it helped the most. Figuring out the 20% of the work that runs pretty much everything. You can forget about the other 80%, which feels silly, or it almost feels unrealistic as there's so many relevant and important things to do with a new business. But there's too many to think that they're all important at the same
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was so cool for you is because I find coaches will get stuck in the trap, like you said, of feeling like they need to do all the things, and
Uh-huh.
one of those traps is trying to do all of the sales things and all of the marketing things. So,
Yes.
what was very clear for you, and this is why I give the stages of business, you were in the early starting stage. So you don't need to worry about social media, posting every day, all these platforms, all this stuff online.
Mm.
That's not worth your time right now because it's not going to move the needle,
Mhm.
which in that stage one, the needle is all about cash. Like you need cash coming in, which comes from paying clients. And the fastest route to that is the 6 degrees of separation.
Yes.
It's those conversations that are structured to lead quickly to paying clients. not, okay, like I'm in the stage now where I'm doing a lot of social media content and that takes up most of my time. And that's what leads to the clients at the stage I'm at. But I mean, that would be a waste of time in stage one
Right, I'm not
versus
relevant at all.
right, and vice versa, like, for me at this stage to be doing 6 degrees of separation stuff all day long, waste of time,
Mhm.
because I already have those clients coming to me now at this stage, so it's, like, narrowing in on what stage of business are you at? Okay, now what are the activities that ma what is the goal? What are the objectives that matter at this stage? And then what are the activities that that'll get you there? And, yeah, I mean, focus so much of your energy and on 6 degrees of separation type conversations because that's what's gonna move the needle in that first stage.
That was great, yeah. Do you want me to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah,
That
I mean,
was
I think
helpful.
yeah, sure, go for it.
It was shocking to see in understanding that people generally want to make something work, and being able to point at someone else and say, "Ooh, talk to them," is such a low energy output that people find it almost fun. Like, "Oh, yeah, no, I do have someone. Go that way." And connecting with people was incredible. It became something that I started to kind of enjoy because it was one of the only certain things there seemed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know even know how to describe that, but people generally seem to want to go, "Oh yeah, you should talk to such and such." It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to people that I had not imagined I was going to be talking to, like
Yeah.
very successful business owners, podcasters, and all of a sudden I was talking to like a previous deputy director of the CDC, and I was like, "What? I don't even what? Why am I talking to you?" It
Yeah.
was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool because otherwise we think, well, I just need to do like cold outreach and talk to a million strangers, and that's burnout recipe.
No one likes that on either end.
No one wants to do that, doesn't actually work, burn
Right.
out, and you feel like a failure the whole way too. Or I'm not gonna talk to anyone because I'm afraid that I'm bothering them. And to
Right.
your point, it's like, well, no, if you talk to the right people and actually have a clear ask, they love to help. It's just the problem is usually that we don't make a clear ask, so they don't know how they can help.
That was I think, man, as you remind me and kind of we're walking back on memory lane, I think that was so impactful for me. I think that was another big milestone for me.
Mm,
Understanding the language, how transparency works, and how simple it is to talk through an offer. And we get so I mean, we all just I think collectively, for some reason, like anybody over 25 goes, "Ooh, vacuum salesman."
exactly.
Like door to
Yeah.
door, like, "Oh no, that's what I gotta do." But no, it's not that. There's a conversational aspect. And the more I talked with you about it, the more I realized it is very tempting and almost always happens to where I'm overthinking those conversations. They're so much simpler than I'm like, oh, but what if I, or oh, if I don't, or what if I miss the fish? Ah, I didn't catch the fish. No, that's not it. So having you there through that was really helpful and calming because of the sales part or giving an offer. This is what I do. This is how I can help. This is how I solve the problem, and this is some evidence of me being good at it, is a lot easier than I thought it would be to present once you framed it for me. I was like, oh, that's it. That's actually kind of fun.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's just so it's these conversations are fun to me because as you're talking, I'm also thinking of my own experiences, feeling the same way. Like, the coaching experience I'm part of now, I had that feeling multiple times this week already. And
Yeah.
it's just why you need others. We're entrepreneurs, we're going it alone by nature, but we need others because it's
Yeah.
we get lost in the weeds.
I think that, like, what you just said, I think is the most important part. And I think if I was to recommend stepping into your business builder program, I think I would say you are most people are for lack of courage. Like they're just lacking enough courage to deal with the uncertainty because they're alone. And having someone just there is really helpful. Having someone who's just there and also has done it, that's another level. And then having someone there who's done it and what they're doing worked and is working is really helpful calming those things down. Because at the end of the day, it's just a matter of doing the thing, whatever it is. Like you said, if I'm doing one thing at this point, I'm probably doing it way better than I was doing the other 25 at once. And having someone alongside to quell some of that angst of, is this the right idea? Is this the good decision? Just do it. You're going to find out. But if you just do it, there's for some reason, there's so much friction right there. It's so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Hmm.